Most strong, capable women believe that being helpful, supportive, and doing more for the relationship will make a man love them more or will make their relationships better. But the more useful you are in a relationship, the less desired, appreciated, and pursued you will feel. Today, I'm going to show you what people actually mean when they say be useless to men and why women who stop doing everything often experience more attraction, more effort, and deeper connection. I'll also explain the moment many women accidentally train the relationship to depend on their effort and why, once that happens, the dynamic quietly flips. I'm Sabrina. I help strong, smart, successful women stop giving too much and doing too much and start experiencing relationships where they feel seen, secure, supported, and deeply loved. Here are some patterns that actually show if you are giving too much or doing too much in your relationships. This is when you're taking on all the responsibility for the connection, the communication, and the emotional temperature in your relationship. You're doing basically everything, and you think he'll eventually start chipping in and doing more, but he doesn't. And all your effort trains him to do less. This is actually called overfunctioning. Now, this doesn't make him bad, okay? This is what happens when we start overfunctioning in our relationships, and then our partner or our loved ones, they start underfunctioning. Number two, trying to be helpful so the relationship works. This looks like cooking, cleaning, organizing life, being supportive, making things easier for him. And he's not doing the same for you. This could be you earning love. I didn't realize when I was in these patterns that I was actually trying to earn love or prove that I was deserving by giving too much and doing too much. And I was putting my loved ones ahead of myself. By all the giving and doing and putting everyone else first, I was unconsciously trying to earn love and connection from my relationships. I was giving everything and doing everything so that I would get the closeness, the connection, and the love that I wanted. I was doing to get and not even realizing it. Let me show you what this pattern looks like. So, this is maybe you feel the distance in your relationship and you start doing things for him. You cook his favorite meal, or maybe you start doing his laundry, or you offer to do something you know that he likes in hopes that it will bring him closer. You see how you're doing something for him to get a result. Realize when you are doing to get an outcome and then just stop altogether. When you can give from your heart without wanting anything in return, you just simply would like a thank you, but you don't actually want a certain outcome or result. That is the goal because you're giving from your heart. You're not giving in order to get a certain outcome with your partner. Notice this tendency to do to get a certain outcome. And then instead of doing something, do absolutely nothing. Okay? Don't try to make anything happen. Just allow the space and the silence to exist between you. Yes, this is hard. It's challenging to catch this pattern of doing to get because it's very sneaky. Anytime you're doing to get a result with him, just observe it. Like, oh, I wanted to do this to get that, but I don't need to. Okay? It's not my job to make anything happen. Ask yourself, what am I hoping that doing this thing will get me from him or in my relationship? Do I really want to do that thing? Is part of me trying to earn love by doing this? Is part of me trying to prove I'm deserving? And what would fill me up instead? Number three, putting his needs first to avoid conflict or distance. So, this is when you minimize your needs by trying to be low maintenance. You're not wanting to rock the boat by speaking up. So, you just put his needs first and you end up feeling unseen, unappreciated, and unfulfilled. For example, we are conditioned to put a man's sexual needs ahead of our emotional needs. I say F that. Your needs are just as important as his. And what most people don't realize is that giving or doing things for him when you don't really want to creates resentment. This is the silent killer in your relationship. It will eat away all your good feelings for your partner. It will. I promise you. There is another way to get your needs met and get what you want. And that means we don't have to keep doing to get. We can simply learn how to have open and vulnerable conversations. Number four, believing effort creates love and closeness. Thinking if you care more, do more, support more, the relationship will naturally become deeper and more secure. The truth is, hard work doesn't create a loving, fulfilling relationship. Consistency does. Respect does. Valuing each other does. Admiring each other does. Open and honest communication does. Loyalty does. Healthy conflict does. And healthy relationships are co created by two people, not one person carrying the relationship on their back. This is one sided and doomed to fail. You are not Superwoman. You deserve to be just as prioritized, cared for, spoiled, and loved just the way you've been loving him. Yes, you do. Here's what useless actually means. When people say be useless to men, what this really means is you stop doing the emotional labor that keeps the relationship running. You stop managing the connection. You stop shrinking and auto accommodating just to keep the peace. You stop trying to be low maintenance or easy breezy. You stop carrying the relationship alone. And you stop giving at your own detriment without requiring reciprocity. When you know your value, you require just as much as you're giving. What being useless to men does not mean. It doesn't mean you stop caring, stop loving, stop being supportive. It just means you stop taking responsibility for his share of the work and his share of the emotional and physical labor that is required to have a healthy, functioning relationship. So, what these patterns cost us is pretty big. It costs you your peace because your mind never rests because you're always trying to fix, help, give, or keep the connection alive. It costs you your respect because when your effort becomes automatic, it quietly becomes expected. And time, years can pass by investing in a dynamic that never becomes reciprocal and mutual. And real love, the relationship never reaches the kind of mature, secure, chosen, and reciprocal love that you actually want. I have a client that came to see me. She was doing all the emotional labor and physical labor. She was cooking, cleaning, trying to make his life easier, constantly being supportive and putting him first. She believed that being helpful and easy to be with would bring him closer. But she started noticing something that was very painful, that the more she did for him, the more he took her for granted. The more work she put in, the less effort he put in. She was the one initiating connection, fixing the distance when things felt off, and trying to talk things through. And she realized she was actually in a one sided relationship where the relationship was running on her effort, time, love, and TLC alone. She realized this wasn't the kind of love that she wanted. She wanted healthy love. She wanted to feel seen, chosen, and cherished. Not ignored, not feeling like she had to work so hard to keep the connection alive. What most women do when they feel the distance is they try harder, they explain more, they help more, they give more emotional labor. And what healthy love actually looks like is mutual effort, emotional responsibility on both sides, space for someone to step towards you, and attraction built on respect and polarity. The woman who experiences healthy love isn't the one holding the relationship together. She's not the glue. She's self led. She's present. She's secure. She doesn't manage the connection. She allows the space and the silence to see if he can come towards her and meet her where she's at. She's not trying to prove her value through effort. She knows her value and isn't willing to sacrifice her needs to maintain the connection. She's willing to walk away if the relationship isn't respecting her boundaries or meeting her needs. Her presence alone creates connection, attraction, and respect. Most women can recognize this pattern once they see it, but shifting the dynamic alone is where many people stay stuck. Because when you've spent years being the responsible one, the strong one, the one who fixes everything, learning to stop over functioning, that's my dog snoring, and allowing your partner to meet you is a completely different way of relating. And that's exactly the work I do with my one on one clients. If you're realizing you're carrying the relationship more than you thought, the next step is getting clarity on your pattern that's actually shaping your relationships. You can either schedule a relationship clarity call with me. You can either schedule a relationship clarity session with me where we look at your situation, where we look at your unique where we look at your unique situation together, or take the relationship pattern quiz below where we'll see which dynamic may be driving your relationships. Both links are below in the show notes or go to sabrinaphoenix.com. If this resonated with you, then be sure to follow so that you don't miss what's coming next.